Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to TIO Stadium in Darwin for round 11 of the 2021-22 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League competition. And today's match, we've got Wanderers and the Tiwi Bombers. My name's Liz Cruz, and joining me in the commentary box, Stu Davis and Will Zwar. Welcome, fellas. It should be a good afternoon of footy.
Yeah, thanks, Liz. Sorry.
Thanks, Liz.
Go ahead, Will.
I was going to say it should be a good afternoon of footy. Obviously, two sort of teams travelling very differently at the moment. Wanderers would be looking to bounce back after a bit of a disappointing showing against Nightcliff last week. Tiwi, it's been an unfortunate couple of years for them. Still yet to get their first win this year. Didn't win last year. Do you think it'll come today, Stu?
Oh, you'd like to think so, wouldn't you? But hard to see it, unfortunately. But as long as they're competitive, and a couple of debutantes today, Liz. Another from the Motlop family footy factory.
Yes, young Brody, who's the son of Shannon Motlop, who of course played AFL, Premiership player for North Melbourne, also played for Melbourne and coached Wanderers until last year. And for the Tiwi Bombers, 16-year-old Dwayne Kerenua, which is exciting and, you know, building the future for the Tiwi Bombers as we see play get underway, Stu.
Yeah, Braden McLean with the first clearance for Wanderers, but that's chopped off at half-back by Cruz, and he kicks to the near side, finds Babui out here. He's looking to chip in board now. He does so, and Tiwi just using possession here, but that one's just gone astray and couldn't be reeled in by Travis Tambling, and bounces over the boundary line for a throw-in.
And a milestone today for the Motlop family of another kind, with Brenton playing his 150th game, Will.
Yeah, obviously, as you said, it's the Motlop family footy factory. Has been a great servant to the club, and I think they'd be pretty confident that they can try and get the win for him in his 150th. Don't want to call it too early, but obviously be plenty of cause for celebration for the Eagles today. And Wanderers now looking to go forward. Bo O'Connell, the man who finds it, runs inside 50, kicks towards goal. Gee, that's a good kick and a good start for the Wanderers. They're on the board already. It's taken them 59 seconds, and the young star, Bo O'Connell, has put it through the big sticks.
Yeah, he's been in really good form this year, and looking to continue that, obviously. He's spent a bit of time in Adelaide in the off-season, and he's always been a skillful player, but he's come back a bit fitter and stronger, I think, and he's had a great season and started well today.
He's looking a bit different this season, sporting the ponytail there, and young Bo, of course, was our 2019-20 Nichols co-medalist with Brody Philo. So, as you said, Stu, he's been away down in Adelaide, but great to see him back in the NTFL competition. I don't think he's even 20 years old yet, so he's got a big future ahead of him. So, minute and a half into the first quarter, and it's Wanderers with the first score on the board.
Good tap out there from Jackson Lock. Went to Kim Cantilla, and Tiwi now looking to go forward, but it's cut off in that back line. Oh, no, it's not. Ball under pursuit here. Comes out to Jonas Nicky. Can't take possession. Tiwi again with the opportunity. Maureen gets it back to Cantilla. And now the youngster, the debutant Kerenua, kicks it out on the full. Or will the umpire? Yep, it's out on the full in the back line for the Wanderers.
I think the boundary umpire's calling touch, but yeah, field umpire misunderstood the signal, I think. So it'll be a boundary throw in here, I imagine. Good
result for the Tiwi Bombers. I know. Going to be...
No, we'll have a throw-in, I think. Yeah, I thought he might have taken it over the line before he kicked it. I think that might have been, not entirely sure what's happened down there, but it'll be a throw-in nonetheless. And it looks like it's Maureen in the ruck for Tiwi. Can't quite see who it is for Wanderers there. Comes down to Bo O'Connell, already with a goal on the board. Grubbers it out. Chopped off by Cruz there. He picks it up now. And the youngster Kerenua trying to get it. He's got his hands on it a couple of times early. Tries to kick it off the ground. Big man Garton for Wanderers gets it across there. Nick Hooker picks it up for Tiwi. Runs forward. Breaks the line. Oh. Jackson Lock got in the way of him there. And he's been pinged for holding the ball. Hooker has. McLean now goes forward. It's chopped off by Tiwi. Again, they're looking to go forward. Lock, will he redeem himself here? Throws on the left, kicks it forward. Can't quite find a man. And Wanderers now. Oh, it's a hot ball. No one can really get a clean run of play here. Cantilla dodges one, dodges another. Runs inside 50. Kicks towards goal. Couldn't quite get his radar straight there.
Yeah, one player that they'll be relying on and looking for a big game is Kim Cantilla, and had opportunity for a perfect start there, but just off to the side, unfortunately, for Tiwi, as Wanderers look to work the ball out of defence, but that kick is smothered, and now Tiwi another opportunity to go forward. Brendan Cantilla on the end of this, but spilt the mark. It goes through here to Thompson, who gets a hand pass across. An opportunity for a shot on goal, but again, that's missed to the near side, and that was Adam Tippingwoody on that occasion, and it's missed everything and out of bounds on the full.
Tiwi haven't started too badly. Obviously, Wanderers got that first goal, but aside from that, it's predominantly been in their forward 50. So they are looking a bit more energetic this week, a bit more switched on. Hopefully they can sustain it for 4 quarters. I think that's sort of been one of their big issues so far this year. But Bo O'Connell now getting a run on the far wing. Kicks it down to a 2-on-1. But his man is Brody Motlop, who's not someone you wouldn't mind in this situation. They work it forward, and it's a mark to Eddie Simpson, 45-degree angle, about 48. He kicks over the top. No, he doesn't. Oh, he does. To O'Connell again, and the umpire's called play on. He didn't mark it there. It was a bit of an easy one. He froze on his boot.
Wow.
And it's a second goal for O'Connell in just 5 minutes of footy.
Well, the perfect start for Wanderers, as you said, 5-minute mark of the first quarter and 2 goals to Bo O'Connell. Too many Bs out there today, but Tiwi did have a lot of the ball and a few shots on goal, like you said, Will, but couldn't quite convert, Stu.
Yeah, a bit of a comedy of errors down there, but they got there in the end, and it was a good finish. Perhaps he preferred having to rush and kick round the corner rather than go back for the set shot on the end, but he did it well. And Wanderers just looking to be a bit classier at this stage with their use of the ball. But early days yet, and the big fella lock for Tiwi wins the hit out this time, and there's a free kick in the middle of the ground. And it's Cantilla who will get that free kick against JJ Motlop. He's looking short laterally here, and the pass is good to Babui, who marks and plays on straight away. Kicks down to the young fella Karanua, who marks at centre half forward. He's looking around, he's chipping sideways here, but plenty of Wanderers players get back there, and Clee is the one that intercepts for Wanderers. Hand passes off to JJ Motlop, who gets caught with the ball, hands it back to Clee, but his kick's chopped off by Babui. He looks to go short inside 50, missed the target. Johnston tidies up by hand across to Newman, and goes short here to Daniel Fuller. There's a 50-metre penalty for movement on the mark, I'd suggest, and Daniel Fuller will take advantage of that 50-metre penalty and march down to forward of centre.
It's a very fast-paced game so far. No one can quite take clean possession, can they? It's Matthew Motlop here now. Kicks it inside forward 50 into no one in particular. Cruz looking to mop up for Tiwi, but it's Eddie Simpson who gets it. He goes back now to Marcus Totham. Back again to the skipper and McLean. Back to it was Totham again, sorry. And O'Connell inside 50. Good big strong mark from the key forward there. And they'll have their a shot on goal for their third of the quarter, courtesy of Alex Wheatra.
Yeah, a couple of outs for Wanderers, Liz. Thomas Motlop, I think I saw going around in the Div 1, but Daniel Wheatra not playing, and Mitchell Taylor, of course, suspended this week. Yeah,
Mitchell's got his lookalike Thompson down there in the back line, though, as we see Wheatra take this shot on goal for the Wanderers' third straight goal so far today.
Yeah, good finishing. They've been pretty efficient going forward, and certainly with their shots on goal, and they just didn't have a match-up for him down there as the ball came in aerially, and took a good strong mark and finished nicely. Yeah, and Alex Wheatra down there in the forward line, his cousin David Cruz lining up for the Tiwi Bombers against him, or keeping it all in the family today. And speaking of keeping it in the family, there's 4 Motlops out there playing, plus 1 coaching in Aaron Motlop. Will.
Yeah, as we said, it's a footy factory down there at the Motlop clan, isn't it? There's plenty of them going around, and plenty of, variety and experience. They've got one debutant and one 150-game player. I'm sure the AFL recruits are watching Northern Territory footy at the moment, with young Whalen making his debut at 15 a couple of weeks ago for Palmerston as well. Yeah, and obviously we've had Jesse Motlop just drafted to Carlton. Exactly. Also a few weeks ago. Plenty going on in Territory footy, that's for sure. Good, strong mark in the back line there from Brody Newman for Wanderers. He looks to move it out through Jared Erlinson. And Wanderers making the most of that far wing now with Jojo Motlop. back to Erlinson. Fast play again seems to be the key today. Sells a bit of candy. Wanderers moving it slickly through the middle. Gets it outbound. Now look to enter their forward 50. Straight in the hands of Tiwi, and they look to mop up out of defence. Brendan Cantilla now marks it, moving outside, and Tiwi now looking to use their pace. Cantilla to Cantilla there. Now inboard. And the youngster Kiranua went for the one-handed mark, didn't quite pay off. And Brody Newman now finds it in his possession on the half-back flank for Wanderers.
Chips out wide here, and Keenan Smith-Thompson had a bit of space. He chips over the top to O'Connell, who also had some space. Keeps close to the boundary line looking for Simpson. That's a beautiful pass and a strong overhead mark by Simpson, who hands off back to O'Connell, who kept running. Inside 50 now, kicks towards goal. Just misses to the near side on this occasion. So the first blemish for Wanderers as far as the scoreboard is concerned, and Tiwi the opportunity to reset from defence.
So 10-minute mark of the first quarter here at TIO Stadium, and it's Wanderers 3-1-19, leading the Tiwi Bombers just the one behind.
Yes, Jason Puruntatameri back in the side this week. He's got the mark at half-back, and he and Brendan Cantilla come in this week. They're both important players for Tiwi, but
Jason, a premiership player for St Mary's, Stu, and a very experienced defender.
Yep, and Tambling long down the line, and that's a good mark taken down here by John Dominic McLennan right in front of the grandstand. He's looking inboard but hasn't got much there and decides to go down the line instead, and Brody Newman, as usual, reading it best, chops off with a strong contested intercept mark and uses the ball beautifully to McLean in the middle of the ground. And now an opportunity through Motlop, but he kicks astray. He was tackled as he kicked the ball, and was just enough to miss the target. But it's the big fella out here, Mitchell Garton, who chops it off for Wanderers. He goes in short to Fuller. Fuller's got a player short. He ignores that, goes laterally instead to Brenton Motlop in the centre of the ground, and Motlop goes long inside forward 50. Simpson on the end of this just made better position, read the ball best coming in, and basically took the mark uncontested in the end, and he'll kick for goal from directly in front. Another of the Wanderers players who's had a good season.
Absolutely. It's his second NTFL season with Wanderers. He's from Western Australia, played in the Waffle. I think he was meant to be flying in and out, but got stuck with the COVID and the Western Australian border rules, Stu, so he's ended up staying for a few weeks.
Well, no one can get into Western Australia.
I think you tried a few weeks ago, didn't you?
Exactly.
And he's just missed that one. So another behind on the board for Wanderers. 3-2-20, leading the Tiwi Bombers, just the one behind at the 12-minute mark of the first quarter.
And Simpson leading Wanderers goals tally this year. So far he's kicked 24, and down the other end it's Kim Cantilla who's kicked 20. I think overall Jackson Calder's got a pretty handy lead on that, the Dennis Dunn Trophy, followed by Jonathan Ross from the Crocs. So another trophy that lots of us like to follow throughout the year, and hopefully we can see both those players, Cantilla and Simpson, kick a couple today.
Speaking of Jackson Calder, that'll be a really interesting game tonight with St Mary's and Waratahs to see where they both are on the ladder after their last attempt at playing each other was called off due to lightning.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a good weekend of footy, and I think that's probably one of the most intriguing games of the round. Obviously, Tars on top and St Mary's not too far behind, but that 4-point blemish from, I think, last year's grand final. We'll interesting to see how much that plays an impact on their final ranking so far this year.
Jonas Nicky with a mark at half-back for Wanderers, goes straight up the middle of the ground and finds his captain, McLean. McLean's got players out wide. He goes that way now, and the big fella Garton takes a mark, hands it off to Clee, who chips in short to Erlinson. Erlinson by hand across to O'Connell, who picks it up on the half volley, chips inboard, and the mark's taken down there by Motlop, is it? Brody Motlop?
Possibly.
Or is it Fijo?
I think it's Keelan Fijo.
Yep. But there's some action off the ball here.
Yeah. Keelan Fijo does go out with a Motlop, Stu, though. So.
Of course.
So he's part of the family, extended family, and he's going to take this shot right from the top of the goal square after that 50-metre penalty.
And kicks it, of course, no problem at the Michael Long centre end of the ground. So that's the fourth in a row to Wanderers to start this match. So Tiwi behind the 8 ball already, Will.
Yeah, they started pretty well that first sort of 5, even 10-minute block, and Bo O'Connell kicked sort of 2 early goals. Didn't look like it was too much of a problem, but now 26-1, they really want to make sure they hit that scoreboard and start applying some pressure and reducing that margin before it gets out of control.
So a goal to Keelan Fijo sees the score now. Wanderers 4-2-26 leading the Tiwi Bombers, just the one behind. In the first quarter here, about the 14.5-minute mark, you're watching AFL&T's coverage of the 2021-22 TIO NTFL season from TIO Stadium in Darwin.
So from the restart, opportunity for Tiwi to go forward. Kim Cantilla just patted it on, and now kick around the corner, falls inside forward 50, and a strong mark taken. Is that Dion Munkara down there in the forward line?
Don't think it is. Dion does have the green boots, but he's top.
Oh no, it's Adam
Tippenwoody,
of course. Should know by all the bandages all over him. He's pretty well covered, isn't he? But he's a very good player. Drew the interest of some AFL clubs a couple of seasons ago, but now just plying his trade with Tiwi this season again, and a shot on goal looks pretty good. He is a good finisher and makes no mistake there, so he's another important player for Tiwi that they need to get moving in this game against Wanderers at TIO Stadium.
Yeah, as you said, he did draw the eye of recruiters a few seasons ago. He's vice-captain of the team this year, and he did spend a bit of time at NT Thunder. So he's a developing leader of the Tiwi Bombers, and he's pretty exciting when he gets going. So if we can see a few more passages of play like that from the Tiwi Bombers, will be a bit more promising for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tipping Woody, don't think he minds a goal celebration either. Don't know if it was the shotgun there or the double fingers, but yeah, it was an interesting one. We always love seeing that when Tiwi play.
Yeah, and speaking of AFL recruiters, congratulations to Anthony Munkara from the Tiwi Bombers, who has been added to the list for the 2022 NAB AFL Academy this week.
Yep, fantastic. So, as we said, Territorians really putting themselves in the spotlight. It's great to see. And hand pass comes out wide here, and the kick in by Babui, but chopped off down back there for Tiwi by Jonas Nicky, for Wanderers by Jonas Nicky, who goes out wide, and Fijo takes the mark in front of the big fella Daniels out there. Goes by hand to Smith Thompson, who chips it round the wing, and now Wanderers with the opportunity. Again, Smith Thompson's run forward, and he takes the mark here without any opposition and plays on straight away, kicks deep inside forward 50, but Jason Puranchatameri's read that one best and chops it off. He goes short to Kim Cantilla, and he runs off half back now. Has a bounce as he runs outside defensive 50, a second bounce, and then kicks a wobbler along the wing, and good defensive work down there by Fuller. Just got his fist to the ball and then chased it down over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Maureen calling for it there, but probably didn't quite do enough to actually get to the ball. And as you said, good defensive effort from Fuller to get in front, get his hands on it, and force the not the turnover, but the boundary throw-in. It's Maureen and Garton in the ruck, just on Tiwi side of the wing. Will come out the back to Big Dougie Daniels, rolls around onto his right foot and kicks it inside forward 50. But as per usual, Brody Newman reads it best. One of the best intercept players we've seen up here for a while in the top end, and he's definitely that's probably his biggest strength, his intercept marking in that back 50.
Yeah, beautiful clean hands always.
Here he is again, Brody Newman, looking at his options and finds a man outside. Just looking to slow up play here, Wanderers, as we edge towards the 18-minute mark of this first quarter here at TIO Stadium. And they go inboard now, find Normie Tipalura. Goes to his captain in Braden McLean. He goes inside 50 to a man all by himself. Slight angle, about 45-degree angle, 35 out from goal. He should go back, and I don't want to call it too early, but wouldn't put this past him at all.
Yeah, young Marcus Totham there. Another one of the youngsters who's probably been playing Premier League for about 4 or 5 years, Stu.
He has, and having his best season, I would think, as his kick goes towards goal. He's just left that one out to the right a bit. But yeah, he's really come on this season, and a really important part of Wanderers midfield, which has seen them rise up the ladder again this year, and yeah, they're right in the mix as far as premiership hopefuls go in the NTFL this season. Tiwi have worked it out of defence, and Brendan Cantilla's got on the end of this in the centre of the ground. Or he goes by hand, but wasn't probably the best option, and eventually they work it out and get it down to Austin Tippingwoody, and he hands off to Dion Munkara, who kicks along inside forward 50, but that's batted down, and Lloyd Johnston picks up, goes by hand to Clee, who gives it across to Totham, and Totham runs out of defence with a couple of bounces, goes for a third now, almost slips away from him, gets the hand pass over the top, but he puts O'Connell in under some pressure. Erlinson comes in, gets a touch to help out. Totham kept running, and eventually they've worked it out, and Matthew Motlop with a long shot at goal. It's going to fall short, and it's read best back down there by Eddie Simpson, and he takes the mark a metre or so in from the behind line, and he's shaping up to kick around the corner with the left foot from the set shot here. So they worked it pretty well in the end, ran themselves into a bit of pressure, but stayed calm and used the ball, and Simpson, no problem at all, round the corner, kicks the goal, and it's his first for the day, and Wanderers fifth.
Yeah, the goal umpire did not move then, so that's always a sign that it's going to be awarded a goal, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. He looks pretty confident there, I think, with those sorts of shots. You know, it's not always what you want. Pretty close to home, but on a tight angle, but he had the confidence, went back and just kicked it through. As you said, Stu, great play there from the Wanderers. They did put themselves under a bit of pressure, but it was sort of their guns in that passage of play, and they just worked it through, didn't sort of get overwhelmed, and have worked it forward for another goal. Now leading by 26 points, which is not the ideal start for Tiwi. We'll see if they can snag a late one and reduce the margin before quarter time.
Yeah, just ticked over the 20-minute mark of this first quarter, Stu.
Yeah, and Newman again, just reading the ball in defence, takes the intercept mark, chips it out to Clee on the wing, another player who's been good for Wanderers this season. He goes in short, but just off target, and some good work by Cruz in defence on his knees, got the hand pass across, but now they've run themselves into trouble, and Clee again comes in, busts the pack, gets the hand pass across, Motlop to Motlop, and short down towards half forward. And the long kick in by Alex Wheatra to the top of the goal square. Simpson got his hands to it. McLean read it off hands at the top of the goal square, slammed it through for another goal for Wanderers, and some pretty clinical, tidy work going forward there.
Yeah, Wanderers now just getting a bit comfortable on the ground. Yeah, they're just sort of dominating the play here, commanding the play, and it's all on their terms at the moment. Tiwi really need to, can't wait for that quarter time sign to come and sort of reassess and work out what they need to do to get into this game.
Yeah, Braden McLean, fourth year as captain of Wanderers, and has been a best and fairest for the club as well. The son of Rod McPhee, well known in territory footy, and of course the nephew of the great Michael Majo McLean. So the score now, Wanderers 6-3-39, leading the Tiwi Bombers 1-1-7 here at TIO Stadium. It's the 22-minute mark of the first quarter.
So from the restart, JJ Motlop through the hands to O'Connell, to Smith-Thompson out wide to McLean, who started forward after that goal, chips inboard. That's a beautiful pass, and the mark's taken by Alex Wheatra, kicking from about 50 out, chips to the top of the goal square where Simpson's got a one-on-one, and just too tall for Purin Tatameri down there. Used his body well, took a nice mark, and he'll go back and have a shot for goal. Interesting how they're using Braden McLean this year. He's renowned as a defender, but he's playing all over the ground, really. Plays in the forward line sometimes. They use him in the middle of the ground as well, so he's become really versatile for them.
I think that's across the board, Stu. Really versatile team this season, and really Aaron Motlop's got them playing as a really well-oiled machine and working as a unit, as we see another goal by Eddie Simpson there for the Wanderers.
Yep, seventh goal on the board for Wanderers, and they're looking dominant early in this game. It's worrying signs for Tiwi, who've had their hands on the ball a bit, but they've been bombing it in forward far too much, and Brody Newman's just peeling off and reading the play and taking marks at will, really, and then just distributing well out of half back.
Eddie Simpson and Alex Wheatra up forward, just, you know, the two towers up there, they're way too tall, way too strong for the Tiwi defence. It does definitely help having Jason Pruitt and Tatameri back in that back line, and I have noticed it's allowed Brendan Cantilla, who's been a pretty strong performer back there to move up the ground. He's been a bit damaging, but hasn't quite been enough for Tiwi today. Obviously, they trail by 38 points, and it's not even quarter time yet. So hopefully they can get back on the board. Here's JJ Motlop here, just outside 50 for Wanderers. Looks to pass it off, and he finds another man, and they could be going for goal number 8 for this quarter.
Yeah, one player missing from last week, Stu Christopher Colombo, who was really good for the Tiwi Bombers, and not playing this week, and they just look a bit at sea at the moment, the Bombers.
Yeah, that's right, and unfortunately they're just not working hard enough defensively either, as John Tipalura has the set shot for goal, but he's dragged that one left and through for a behind, and Jason Puruntatameri will bring it in. Lottery as to whether he'll kick left or right foot. Left foot this time, and as usual, it's a beautiful kick. Mankara tried to run off with it before he took possession, but hacked off the ground, and Wanderers are set up behind that, and Smith Thompson gets the chip kick across to McLean. McLean goes wide out to the outer side of the ground, and Totham has made some space out there again. Hit up Simpson. Simpson dropped the mark on this occasion, and now he's being swarmed on by Tiwi defenders, but manages to get the hand pass across to Wheatra in the end anyway. Wheatra off the outside of the boot, but he's just missed that to the near side and the behind.
And again, Tiwi, they sort of almost look to be away, but some unclean hands from you wouldn't expect it from Dale Mankara, but that's what happened, and Wanderers applying the pressure. They're there quickly, and they're there at the fall of the ball to make sure that they make the most of any mistakes Tiwi might make.
So the quarter time siren has gone here at TIO Stadium, and it is Wanderers 7-4-46, leading the Tiwi Bombers 1-1-7. A pretty big margin going into quarter time, Stu.
Yeah, it is, and just the difference in class, I think. And Wanderers, as you'd expect, they're pushing for a top 3 spot at the end of the year, and of course percentage will be important, and they'll be looking to improve on that as much as they can. But we just look for Tiwi to keep chipping away, keep having a crack, and see if they can get a bit of a run on, as we've seen over the years they can do, and get themselves back into the game.
We'll go to the quarter time break and be back soon.
You know what great mates Territorians can be.
Always willing to lend a hand.
Or something else.
So if they ever ask to borrow your car, as you know they will, you can say yes, knowing that your TIO comprehensive car insurance has them covered. Same as you. It's good to know.
So get a quote today.
TIO. We're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club has been renovated. Come check out our brand new cafe, open 7 days a week. And with the new Kids Club, we are the perfect spot for a worry-free catch-up with friends. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gathering or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Time to escape, 'cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide. Ooh.
Great Northern Brewing Co., the beer from up here.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch.
Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory,
We're here when you need us most.
TIO, we're for Territorians.
AFL Northern Territory would like to remind spectators that congregating at the team huddles is not permitted during the breaks.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium in Darwin for the second quarter of this round 11 game between Wanderers and the Tiwi Bombers. It is Wanderers in control early of this game, and a milestone game for Brenton Motlop. And one of the great things about Territory football is family support. Just looking down the ground, all the Motlops have got a T-shirt with Brenton's face on it, which is a great show of support, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. As we've just said, there's, I think, 4 of them playing today, or there is 4 of them playing today, and a couple of others who are related to the family one way or another. I think it was it Keelan Fijo who you said was David?
Yeah, he goes out with Brittany Hoffman, whose mother is a Motlop. So, yeah.
Another famous Territory sport or football family as play gets underway again. McLean gets the ball out to Matthew Motlop, the milestone man, and he finds Marcus Totham just on the far wing. Now goes back inboard to Erlinson, and there's a play down the middle. It's
Jackson Locke. He didn't get up after that ruck tap. He's still writhing in pain on the ground.
And he's had a bad knee injury earlier in the year. Unsure if it's a knee or it's it looks like it might be a shoulder or a collarbone. Hopefully it's nothing too bad. He's still down. Play is in the Tiwi Bombers forward line, but it's a free kick to Wanderers. They look to go across goal. It's Brenton Motlop now with the pill. He goes to Newman, just shrugs the defensive player. Now comes out, finds, I think it's Fuller. He finds Bo O'Connell. No, he doesn't. Goes over his head. Now gets to O'Connell, courtesy of Tiplura. But Tiwi managed to take the pressure. Tiplura again throws it. Not a clean kick as he was tackled in the process. And the umpires made a call. They've stopped play as a result of that injury in the middle of the ground to Jackson Locke. And he looks in a world of pain out there. He's not a soft lad, so whatever's going on must be pretty serious, unfortunately.
Well, he got up on his feet before and started trying to move off, but he's collapsed again in the middle of the ground, so...
Yeah, I don't think it's a structural injury. I think it's obviously something internal, unfortunately, as Sandy Dirksen, the trainer for the Tiwi Bombers, has called for the stretcher. So it's the 1.5 minute mark of the second quarter, and we haven't had much play. As we said, that incident happened in the ruck contest, Stu.
Yeah, really unfortunate for Jackson Locke, of course, but also for Tiwi, who we've said a couple of times already are... a bit light on for tall timber, and with him out of the side, they'll have to rearrange who does the ruck work for them, and that will obviously take away from their ability to match up in other areas of the ground as well. But Stretch is there, unfortunately, and so it's looking unlikely that Locke would take any further part in the game. So yeah, not only a couple of minutes into this second quarter, and no addition to the score since quarter time, but players huddled together in their lines, and yeah, a bit of a delay here.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to wait and see. It might be a bit of a break here, which, coming out of quarter time, see if that plays an impact on any momentum at all. A bit of an extended break. But, yeah, we'll have to see Tiwi restructure themselves. The other tall timber out there is Dougie Daniels. I think Chris Maureen has played bits and pieces in the ruck. He's not the tallest lad, but he could hopefully fill some shoes. But, yeah, I think it's fair to say Jackson Locke will be out of the game today, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunate for the Tiwi Bombers as we see him get stretchered off. And as we said, only early in the second quarter of this round 11 game. Just one more to go before Christmas and the Christmas break.
Yeah, and then only 6 after Christmas before finals, Liz. So sort of just the way it's panned out this year. There was that round that's missed. I'm not sure if a decision's been made on whether that gets played or not.
We've had a few games interrupted by lightning. So, as we said, St Mary's and Waratah will meet again tonight, which will be really interesting and will really interesting to see what happens with the ladder in the second half of the season. Obviously, they got 2 points each last time they played because the game was deemed a washout, as we see play get underway. But yeah, it's a really interesting season. Nightcliff still up there, but have been toppled already this season, which they haven't in the past few seasons.
So Munkara found Thompson going forward, who chips inboard to Albert Tipungwuti. He's marked pretty much on the paint of 50. He's suggesting that he's going to go long to goal, but just pulled that one a bit, I think, although it's gone lobbed about 10 metres out and tied it up pretty easily in defence by Jones Cabillo for Wanderers. They work the ball out of defence now. McLean, in fact, hand passes across to Erlinson. Erlinson chips in looking for Totham, finds him just in front of Kim Cantilla, and he plays on straight away around the wing on the outer side. And I think that's big Alex Wheater out there. He's come up the ground, gets a hand pass over the top, and again, they're just working the ball laterally now. Hand pass over to Johnston. He hand passes to Wheater, who was unaware of the player running from behind him, and Kim Cantilla makes a good tackle and is rewarded with the free kick.
A bit slower to start this second quarter. Not as many stops in play, but more just the pace of the game has slowed down. I think that injury break that we've had has possibly sort of giving the players a bit more time to stop, and they're just sort of restarting up again. Here's Hooker out of half back. It's not a great kick. Out of bounds on the full on that back flank.
Wow. And yeah, Hooker's one that we probably haven't called much so far in the game. Just hasn't had the opportunity to get his hands on the ball. Looks like he's gone back on to Big Simpson now. So Clee gets the mark here, kicks long. Speaking of Simpson, gets his hands to the ball at the top of the goal square. Couldn't take the mark. Roy Farmers down there tried to kick off the ground, but in fact it was Normie Tipalura for Wanderers who got his hands on the ball, found a bit of space, hooked around the corner and made no mistake. It was all a bit too easy in the end.
And it's their 8th goal so far of the game, extends their lead out to 46 points as we cross over into the edge towards 6.5 minutes into this second quarter here.
Yeah, and Tipalura, of course, a famous Tiwi name, strong links to the islands there. So the Wanderers do have a number of Tiwi players amongst their ranks. So as you said, another goal to Wanderers. The score now 8-5-53, leading the Tiwi Bombers 1-1-7, almost the 7-minute mark of this second quarter here at TIO Stadium in Darwin.
We saw Nick Hooker playing on Eddie Simpson. They're very undersized, and that's probably a rearrangement as a result of that injury we've just seen to the ruckman Jackson Locke. He's now on Alex Wheater. It's a bit better for him, but still looks a bit undersized compared to him. So interesting to see how that plays out for Tiwi, and you'd think the Wanderers will try and make full advantage of that now as Brody Newman takes a mark. But it's a free kick against him for a push out. Gets it over to Babui, and he kicks it to the hot spot.
Oh.
Maureen couldn't take the mark, and it's Johnston who'll take it out of the back line. Couldn't find his man. Totten will be first to it. Now it'll be the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in on the far wing, on the Wanderers side. On the Tiwi side of the wing.
Yeah, an opportunity there for Tiwi, and big Chris Maureen got his hands to the ball, but just couldn't take the mark at the top of the goal square. So an opportunity gone begging, but big Doug Daniels in the ruck. The boundary throwing is not the best. Play on's the call. Motlop got the hand pass across, and now Erlinson chips along the line. Smith Thompson's out there, and he plays on, hand passes over the top, and Wanderers working it through the hands. Wheatra chips one inside forward 50, looking for McLean. Cruz working back, got his fist to the ball, but McLean's run onto it with a clean set of heels, runs away, has a bounce and a snap at goal, but he's run himself into trouble, and Jason Puruntatameri managed to get a touch on it before it went through. He probably could have hand passed over the top to Simpson as well, but just the bounce messed him up in the end, I think.
He needed to strike earlier, I think. He sort of ran a bit too far, and by that stage should have hand over the top, but as you said, Puruntatameri good to get some pressure in there. Tiwi now putting a fair bit on to make sure that Wanderers don't get out of the back line too easy. It's a backwards kick, but it might work out for him.
Oh, what a mark.
There. Umpire calls play on. Babui hacks it out. He's gone the wrong way. And Totten will take it. He's tackled by Dion Munkara. Now out to Motlop. Over to Motlop. It's JJ now.
It's Motlop. Brenton.
Newman finds trouble, but he bounces off it. Throws on his left. Cheeky little kick there. Inbound.
Got three Motlops within 20 metres of each other.
Motlop now over to Totten. Will he find another one? No, he finds Bo O'Connell. He's already kicked 2 goals today. He's about 48 from where he marked it. He'll be kicking from outside 50 if he goes for goal. He's calling for a lead from the big fella Eddie Simpson. That's what he gets. Not a bad kick, a bit too much on it, and a roll through 4 behind.
Yeah, it was a pretty congested forward line when he looked up for that lead. So the score now, Wanderers 8-6-54, leading the Tiwi Bombers 1-1-7, Stu.
Yeah, it was a great kick, really. He got his hands to it, just slipped through them, and the kick just lobbed in between two Tiwi defenders. But Simpson dropped a couple, and I think people underestimate how slippery your hands get in the weather up here. Almost like wet weather footy at times in the dry.
It's 34 degrees and very no rain around today, Stu, which has been a bit different to the last few weeks, but it's still pretty humid out there.
Nick Hooker now takes a mark on the half-back flank for Tiwi. Assesses his options, looking inboard. Instead he'll go long, throws onto his big booming left foot kick.
Yes, sir.
Straight down the throat of Brody Newman.
Not much gets through those hands, do they?
And you wonder if the opposition coaches playing against Wanderers say, look for where Newman is and kick where he ain't, because he's just going to take it every time. Tipping Woody trying to get his hands on it for Tiwi, but it's Wanderers scrumming it forward. Some big bodies flying around there.
There's no one in the forward line for the Tiwi Bombers if they do get a kick away.
And it's Wanderers who will get it. They kick it forward. It looks like it'll go straight down the throat of Silvani Babui. He goes across to Mully Cruz, takes the mark. He'll go back. He's got a man on the wing, but he'll kick it longer than that to Chris Maureen in front of him. Couldn't get to the ball to take the mark, but it bounced in his favour. He's tackled and run down. Brendan Cantilla now overruns it. Wanderers there to mop up. No, they're not. Cantilla, it works out in his favour. Runs on, throws on the boot. It's a snap towards goal, but it's a behind.
Yeah, just talking about Newman, I know a couple of weeks ago St Mary's used a defensive tag on him, forward on him, but didn't do him much good. Wanderers won the game pretty comfortably. And Wanderers bring it out of defence clear again, doing a lot of running from his wing, and gets on the end of it, but that's a poor pass forward by Motlop. Babui chopped it off, had a bounce, hand passed over the top, and Paul Innes tipping Woody trying to shrug the tackle, but couldn't do so. Now Wanderers working it out. O'Connell across to Clee, and he chips along the line and finds Jonas Nicky. Nicky chips inboard to the first gamer in Brody Motlop, and Motlop plays on looking for O'Connell, finds him, but O'Connell spilt the mark, and Whistle had blown, but play on's the call now. O'Connell good enough to tidy up his own work, got the hand pass across. McLean goes backwards to JJ Motlop. He sweeps the hand pass out to Totham, who hand passes forward, and now O'Connell receives and runs inside forward 50, chips over the top. That's pretty good work, and found Matthew Motlop down there. He's looking for a player in the centre of the ground. Just no defensive pressure at all from Tiwi on players running into the forward line there, and Keelan Fijo just gets on the end of it. Takes the mark about 25 out directly in front.
Yeah, a bit too easy there, and you look at someone like Bo O'Connell, who's had it on a string today. He just put effort in after effort, sort of was elusive enough to get through about 2 defenders here on the high forward flank, went inboard, ran forward to get it back, and he's found his man forward. He's then kicked inboard, and it's Keelan Fijo who's kicked his second goal of the game here from a pretty easy set shot, almost straight in front, about 35 out.
Yeah, Keelan Fijo, as you said, kicked his second goal, so the score now will go to 9-7-61. Wanderers leading the Tiwi Bombers 1-8. 100-plus game player for Wanderers, Keelan Fijo. He's a pretty quiet fella, but he's actually a very talented artist, and he has done a couple of their Indigenous jumpers designs in previous years. So only the second goal this quarter, though.
And Nick Hooker's just come to the bench for Tiwi. He said he might be one who's got to play a bit of a bigger role with Jackson Locke going out. He's looking a bit ginger, holding his groin, got a bit of a limp about him. Hopefully it's nothing too serious and it's just a bit of tightness, but interesting to see what happens there. Hopefully it's nothing too bad for Tiwi and he can get back on the field in not too much time. Play starts as I think it was Dougie Daniels tried to hack it down. Kim Cantilla throws it on the boot, tries to find Adam tipping Woody. But it's Kim Cantilla who throws on the boot. He's moved to a half-forward role today. It'll be... Oh, no, Tiwi managed to get the ball. Maureen was tackled without it, and he'll get a free kick. No, it's Wanderers who get the advantage. Marcus Totham takes the mark on the defensive wing, kicks it forward to O'Connell in a paddock of space. He'll turn and go. He
got no one on him.
He looks forward. I thought he was going to take a second there, but no, he goes. Not a great kick, but it'll play out for them as it's Brody Motlop, the youngster, goes inside forward 50. Again, not a great kick, and Mully Cruz now with the ball for Tiwi, looking to move it forward. He finds Rodney to Perui on the back flank, and he turns and goes. He's got a man in board. Handballs over the top to him. It's Austin tipping Woody. He now goes inboard. Kim Cantilla rolls on his right, rolls back on his left, handballs it over the top. Gets it back. Runs to about 50, goes towards goal, doesn't quite have enough. Jonas Nicky dropped the mark. He's under pressure now. Throws it on the boot, kicks it out to Clee. Clee gives the hands off, gave a late Shepherd, and he'll find O'Connell now again in plenty of space, but he's not quite enough to play on. He'll hand it to the run of Johnston and bounce up towards Brody Motlop. Almost hit him in the face. A volley Falcon there, but he finds Eddie Simpson, turns around as his man goes to ground, plays on, and this will be another goal for him.
Well, great work there by the young debutant Brody Motlop. Dropped the mark, but managed to pull the ball in and hit Eddie Simpson on the chest, Stu.
Yeah, it was terrific, wasn't it? And Simpson just used his body really well and was looking to hand pass over the top, actually, but didn't really get the opportunity, so just took it on himself in the end, and yeah, good build-up again, and O'Connell involved once again, as well as Clee. He's
playing in a paddock out there on the wing, O'Connell. So a third goal to Edward Simpson sees the score. Wanderers 10-7-67, leading the Tiwi Bombers 1-8. We're at the 16-minute mark of the second quarter. You're watching AFL&T's coverage of the 2021-22 TIO NTFL season from TIO Stadium in Darwin.
Great spatial awareness there from Simpson as well. He sort of realised straight away that his opponent had got to ground and in a pretty full-on way, so he turned, went and slotted it through the big sticks. As ball comes forward straight away into the Wanderers forward line again, but it's marked by Jason Puruntatameri. He looks to go outbound to Paulinus tipping Woody. Finds his man on the wing in Silvani Babui. He's been pretty good today. And he looks to go forward, but it's intercepted by Johnston. He now finds Motlop to Clee, inboard to McLean. And Erlinson looks for the big man in Simpson in a lead out to the forward pocket under hot pursuit from Cruz. Cruz that time managed to make the most of the contest. He's got the ball, kicks it inboard to Puruntatameri. Wasn't a great kick though. Puruntatameri made the most of it, takes one bounce, moves sideways back to Cruz. Cruz goes down the wing and finds his man. No, the ball will roll over for a boundary throw-in.
We've got a couple of other games being played today. Southern Districts are hosting Palmerston out at Fred's Pass, which should be an interesting game. Nightcliff and Buffs also at Nightcliff, Stu. A couple of good games this afternoon.
Absolutely. That Districts Palmerston game is crucial for both sides. They're basically fighting for the 5th spot on the table, and Palmerston were pretty impressive last week and be looking to continue their form today. But it's Tiwi from the stoppage and spills out here to Dwayne Kiranua. He kicks inboard and Mark Spilt, but Newman's in the action again, manages to knock it forward, and Wanderers kick down towards half forward, but that's not the best of kicks going in, and Tambling ran himself into some pressure but got the hand pass back to Roy Farmer, who chips in short, and he finds Kieran DeSantis, who's got some players out wide, plays on straight away, and Maureen spilt the mark but had plenty of time, picks up and just bombs it long towards half forward, but that'll be chopped off pretty easily, I would think, in the end. Johnston got his hands to the ball, but there was a blocking free kick, and it's going his way. In fact, he chips into the middle to Keenan Smith-Thompson, who goes short to Brodie Motlop. Motlop kicks inside forward 50, just overcooked that one a bit, and Roy Farmer, chipping across the back, took the intercept mark. He's got a player out wide all on his own. If he wants to use him, he does so, and that's Tipperui out there. He chips it in looking for Maureen, and Maureen marks this time on the outer wing, plays on now, and just got loose players running down the ground. The opportunity to go forward again down there. That was McLennan, who kicked inside forward 50. Running onto it is Dion Munkara, claiming that he's tackled without the ball, but some strong work, and Braden McLean brings the ball out of defence for Wanderers, finds Totham, who marks, swings around looking for, put the ball in the path of Daniel Clee. Just ball wouldn't bounce right for him, and now he's under plenty of pressure, then gets slung out of the action. Play on's the call as Tambling takes possession. He gets tackled with the ball. I think he's going to be caught here. Didn't get it out, and a good tackle by Bo O'Connell. Plays on quickly by hand to Totham, who chips it in and finds Wheatra inside forward 50.
Again, too easy after that free kick there. I think the free kick was definitely paid. Unfortunately for young Tambling, he was just a bit too slow to pounce on that ball. He should have gone a bit quicker, and he could have had the ball going down the other end, but instead it's another kick on goal for the Wanderers.
And Alex Wheatra, the son of St Mary's great Tommy Wheatra, and his cousin David Cruz standing on the mark, whose mum is Sharon Wheatra, so just keeping it in the family today.
Good kick on goal. It doesn't quite have enough, and it fades to the near side. So it'll be Tiwi kicking out, still looking for their first goal this quarter as we tick over 20 minutes, and Puruntatameri looking at his options now. As you said, will he go his left boot or his right boot?
Probably go 60 metres, whichever one he does kick with.
I think that's exactly what he's going to do. It's his left boot. He's gone to Cruz.
Too far.
Pushed it too far over the boundary line. And Bo O'Connell, who's had it on a string, looks to reset. Overcooked it to Clee, but it'll go through the defender's hands. Clee might make the most of it here. He's pushed over it. JJ Motlop now out. Oh, not to another Motlop, to himself. Comes back to O'Connell, 50 metres out. Goes to Totham, back to O'Connell. He chips over the top to Motlop. And I think it might be out of bounds on the full. No, he's paid the mark.
No.
He's gone back inboard to Wheatra.
I think he's going to get overruled there because
the
it definitely looked out of bounds on the full from where we're sitting up here.
I think that might happen, but nothing's really happened. The umpire's letting play go. No, they'll call it back.
Turn it over. Yeah, just a bit of confusion down there, but
I think the correct decision in the end, Stu.
Exactly right. So, of course, all the players set up behind here. It's pretty congested as Dion Munkara drills that one along the boundary line. Totham comes in, makes the contest, and then takes possession.
Great
beautifully
vision.
Inside 50. Good vision. They just picked out his teammate in amongst a number of Tiwi players, and it's Normie Normie Tipalura, who will have the set shot on goal. He's kicked one goal already this quarter with a snap from pretty close range. See how he goes with a set shot. We're right behind him here as he comes in to kick. And just not coming back. We started it on the post and it just maintained that line and hit the post.
So the score now at the 22.5-minute mark of the second quarter. Wanderers 10-9-69, leading the Tiwi Bombers 1-8. As we said earlier, a bit of a slower quarter here in this second quarter, and that ball's going to be marked right on the line by David Cruz.
So Tiwi out of defence. Again, just overcooked, and Matthew Motlop tidies up, gets a hand pass across to Newman, who's under pressure, and Garton, the big fella, hand pass to Totham again, and O'Connell again, chips inboard, this one just going over the top, and opportunity down here for Tiwi to run the ball out of defence, and it was the young fella Keranua got it back again and kicks long towards
great kick,
half forward, and it was a great kick and good reward for effort there for the young fella. He had a couple of involvements in it and used the ball beautifully going forward and sat it in the lap of Albert Tipungwoody, who will have a set shot for goal.
What a great experience playing your debut game at just 16 years of age for Keranua. I think that he's about the 9th under 18-year-old who has played for the Tiwi Bombers this season.
Unfortunately, it wasn't a goal. They couldn't reward him for it. It's a shame that it comes to the first game play to do something like that, but I think the coaches at halftime were saying, look at what the young fella's doing. It shouldn't be up to him, it should be up to our leaders. Follow in his footsteps and do what he did. That's how we're going to maybe not win this game, but at least get back into it and show some fight. As Motlop now goes inboard, Clee now finds it on the run, kicks it inside the forward 50 to the big fella in Wheatra. He'll run onto it, try and work it in his favour. Taps, tries to tunnel ball it through. There's two Wanderers down there now, hands it over the top. Wheatra from the boundary line, kicks it to Simpson by himself.
Wow.
11 metres out from goal.
Didn't even move.
And Puruntatameri just played a bit too far from his man. Got an unexpected quick kick out to him. Just a bit unfortunate body positioning there, but he'll pay the price here, you would think.
Yeah, I think he was trying to read the play, and but the ball worked back inside, and just not enough Tiwi players working hard enough to get back defensively, and Simpson has no problem with that from the top of the goal square as expected, and Wanderers kick another, only their 4th for the quarter, and Aaron Motlop would probably be a little bit disappointed with that return.
So 4th goal to Edward Simpson, 2 to Bo O'Connell, 2 to Keelan Fijo, 1 to Normie Tipalura, Alex Wheatra and Braden McLean. Sees the score, Wanderers 11-9-75, leading the Tiwi Bombers 1-8 at the 25-minute mark of the second quarter.
Aaron Motlop will probably be pretty happy with their defensive efforts, though, having conceded only 1 goal and 3 scoring shots. So, yeah, just as important, obviously.
Maureen in the ruck for Tiwi, tries to fist it forward, didn't quite make the connection he would have liked, as Motlop will now rack it up. He's tackled by 3 Tiwi Bombers. An umpire will call for another ball up. And the Tiwi's offensive side of the centre square.
And obviously a percentage will be in play today as we hear the halftime siren go, and it'll be Wanderers who want to keep mounting the charge and have a big win over the Tiwi Bombers.
It's a 67-point margin as we go on a half-time, Liz, so you're absolutely right. If they can keep Tiwi's score as low as possible, it'll be in their favour. So, yeah, I think you're right, Stu. That defensive effort will be praised by Motlop. Hasn't been the best quarter offensively, but defensively, it's exactly what you want from a coach. I think it was just the one behind conceded. Tiwi, on the other hand, are in all sorts. Their big ruckman, Locke, who's been pretty good so far in the games he's played. It'll be, unfortunately, looking like his second not-so-great injury so far this year, and they've tried to readjust. Big Doug Daniels has got a task ahead of him. Nick Hooker's looked to move to bigger forwards to defend on, and not really sure how they go forward from here.
That's right, so we'll go to the halftime break with the Wanderers in control here at TIO Stadium in Darwin.
You know what great mates Territorians can be.
Always willing to lend a hand, or something else. So if they ever ask to borrow your car, as you know they will, you can say yes, knowing that your TIO comprehensive car insurance has them covered. Same as you. It's good to know.
So get a quote today.
TIO. We're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club has been renovated. Come check out our brand new cafe, open 7 days a week. And with the new Kids Club, we are the perfect spot for a worry-free catch-up with friends. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gathering or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide. Ooh.
Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer from up here.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch.
Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory,
We're here when you need us most.
TIO, we're for Territorians.
AFL Northern Territory would like to remind spectators that congregating at the team huddles is not permitted during the breaks.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium in Darwin for the second half of this round 11 game between Wanderers and the Tiwi Bombers. It is Wanderers who are well in the lead, 11-9-75 to Tiwi Bombers 1-3-9. So I'm not sure what we can expect for the second half. Stu, what do you think?
Well, more of the same, you would imagine, wouldn't you? But you can only hope that Tiwi can mount something of a challenge and start to get themselves some consistency in their game. But Wanderers just too strong so far.
Play is underway. Dougie Daniels tried to get the tap down, but it comes to Erlinson. Wanderers moving forward with pace. Youngster Brody Motlop here goes to Newman, and he's headed in the wrong direction. They're now going in the right direction, but finds, I think it's Travi Tambling in the middle there. He rolls onto his right and kicks inside forward 50 and finds his man there in Paulinus Tipping-Woody, who will, it is Albert Tipping-Woody, who will line up for a goal. About probably 35 out when he kicks it on a 45-degree angle, lining up, starting his run up from the 50-metre paint.
Really good vision there by Tamling to play on so quickly after the turnover and get that ball into Tipping-Woody, Stu.
Yeah, really good. And a good start for Tiwi, and as long as the conversion can get there, it's just snuck over the line, I think. Yep, Lloyd Johnson down there got a hand to it, but I think he might have been behind the line. We'll just have a conference between field umpire and goal umpire. And all clears given, and Tiwi with first blood in the second half of the game, so a promising start, but used the ball well going forward, and the finish got there in the end.
Yeah, good to see the Tiwi Bombers with their second goal on the board. They didn't kick one in the last quarter, so that score now Wanderers 11-9-75, leading the Tiwi Bombers 2-3-15, so a 60-point margin there, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. If not for the Wanderers midfielders running the wrong way, it could have been a goal down the other end, but a good start for Tiwi. Hopefully, they've had a big talking to. We saw the youngster Dwayne Kiranua make a good run through the middle late in that second quarter, and I think the coaches would have drawn inspiration from that. So hopefully for the game's sake, Tiwi can build from that. They come forward now. Rodney Tipperui hands it over to Paulinus Tipping-Woody. Kicks inside 50, and again to Albert Tipping-Woody. He's just kicked the last goal. Not quite the same spot, a bit further out, but a kind of angle for him. And it could be two in a minute.
Just back in the centre square there, the Tiwi players really excited about how they've started this second quarter. They're high-fiving and a bit of bounce in the step. It's great to see, and hopefully it carries through to what they do on the field with the football. But another opportunity for goal, and the kick looks good again, and wow, what a start in the second half for Tiwi. The first two goals on the board in the first couple of minutes, so we were hoping for something a bit better from them, and they've produced it already.
Yeah, Albert Tipping-Woody there with 2 goals in 2 minutes. As you said, I went down at half-time to the Tiwi rooms and had a quick chat to Dean Rioli and Josh Brogan. It looks like Locke is out with a hip injury for the rest of the game, but a little bit of restructuring and 2 quick goals sets them up for a good second half, Will.
Yeah, you talk about restructuring, and Nick Hooker, who we said might have to play different roles, moved up almost that full forward position, playing deep. Not sure if a minor injury scare in that second quarter with, I think it might have been his groin or his knees, pushed him up there, or if it's just something different. But so far it's going well. 2 goals in the first 3 minutes and 50 seconds of play. As Wanderers now looking to take it through McLean. He kicks it forward on his trusty left and finds the youngster Bo O'Connell, who's probably been the best on ground so far today. He rolls around. Not a great kick, but it could work out for him as Normie Tipalura will run onto it under pressure from Tiwi, and now they're looking to mop up. Adam Tipping-Woody will... Gee, he was just overrun there by Keelan Fijo. Wanted the ball a bit more. Can't take it clean, so we'll tap it forward, and it'll find the boundary line.
Adam Tipping-Woody looks like he's a bit hampered there, not running too freely.
Yeah, well, we mentioned earlier he's got plenty of strapping on him, and just struggling a bit with fitness, but obviously. But still, he's a class player, and boundary throw-in wasn't at the standard required, so we'll have a re-crack at that.
Yeah, first game in 10 weeks for Adam Tipping-Woody. He played that round 1 match and hasn't taken to the field since, so interesting to see how well he plays out the game. Obviously, that much fitness, if you haven't had it, can creep up on you late in games. It's Tiwi now work the ball forward, but Newman will mop up from the ground this time. No, Tiwi umpire's made a call and it's holding the man. So it will be Newman. No, it won't. It'll be young Brody Motlop, I think, taking the free kick from the half-back flank. He goes into the middle of the ground. And the umpire will call another free kick, this time going in favour of Daniel Fuller. He was the intended target. Probably would have taken the mark if not for that pressure from Tiwi. O'Connell now moves forward to Erlinson. He kicks it to a lead to McLean, his skipper, on high half forward, but overcooks it and we'll have another throw in on that forward flank.
Wanderers just a bit untidy early in this second quarter. Tiwi came out of the blocks and maybe just a little bit of panic, but they haven't used the ball as they did in the first half. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly they can settle themselves down and get back to that football that they were playing earlier. Garton with a clever tap over the top to Totham. Totham kicks inside 50, goes over the head of the pack down there. Normie Tupulura runs onto it, but Jason Purantatamiri tidies up for Tiwi. That's a chip kick out of defence, and Wanderers have got some numbers there, but Brendan Cantilla comes in, toes to himself, but Totham picks up, hand passes to McLean. McLean looking to give it off. He does to O'Connell this time. O'Connell swings it round the corner. What a fantastic finish that is. If it reaches, it doesn't. And Cruz back there right on the goal line took the mark, kicks to the outer side of the ground, and Tipungwuti chips in and finds his teammate Austin Tipungwuti out there. He goes back to Adam Tipungwuti, who marks on the outer wing, plays on straight away now, and he's got a bit of space, has a bounce, chips the ball in, and the mark's taken down there by the first gamer, Kiranua. He kicks forward, but Brody Newman coming in, takes a good contested mark, switches the ball across to Lloyd Johnston now, and Wanderers looking to work it away.
Got men on the wing.
And
finds Marcus Totham, defensive side. He goes inboard. And it comes out again to Smith Thompson. He goes inboard again. And JJ Motlop wrapped up in the tackle. Umpire will ping him for holding the ball. And Dion Munkara will look to go forward for Tiwi. Goes on his right side, left foot though. And he comes up and finds Munkanomi. Haven't called his name so far today. Goes inboard and finds Kim Cantilla, who's looks like he might have started forward this quarter, played predominantly in the midfield in that first half, but he's lining up for what I think would be his first shot on goal today.
Well, much better endeavour already in the second half by the Tiwi Bombers. So it'd be great for them if Kim Cantilla can get this goal on the board.
Leading goal kicker for the Bombers so far this year. Strolls in, kicks it, and he's put it through.
Well, 3 goals to the Tiwi Bombers in the first 7 minutes of this third quarter. Sees the score now 11-9-75. Wanderers leading for 3:27 to the Tiwi Bombers, Stu.
Yeah, well, over the years we've seen what Tiwi can do when they get a run on, but obviously it's been a bit lean for them the last couple of years, but they've always been a side that's capable of banging on 10 or 12 goals in a quarter, and they've started on fire in this third quarter with 3 goals, three good finishes, and that makes all the difference. And Kim Cantilla, he is in the middle there. I think he's just working his way forward to give himself shots on goal. But
and a good pickup for the Tiwi Bombers after coming back from Waratahs this season.
Newman chops it off across half-back, goes out wide to Smith Thompson, who hooks it around the corner and finds Matthew Motlop. He chips inboard looking for O'Connell just inside the centre square. He marks and now strolls off through the middle of the ground, has a bounce and chips the ball forward to Totham, who has paid the mark, and he'll have to come back over the mark. But O'Connell and Totham have basically shared the ball between them for much of the game, and now Totham's going short out wide, and the ball comes back in, and Keelan Fijo takes the mark about 40 out on about a 45-degree angle.
Fijo's kicked 2 goals so far today. I'm not sure if he'll have the distance for this one.
Yeah, the flags over by the old scoreboard suggests that he's kicking into the breeze from there, but going back with some confidence. Comes in now, a bit of momentum behind it, kicks across the face of goal. Simpson almost uncontested, spilt the mark, picks up. Cruz manages to get his hands to it, and Cruz is having a fair crack down there in defence and certainly hasn't been Tiwi's worst player today.
Playing against his old team. And I just had a quick look at the live stream from the Southern Districts and Palmerston Magpies game coming up to half-time, and there's just 4 points in it. District 6-3-39 leading Palmerston 5-5-35. So a good game going on out there at Fred's Pass.
Yeah, but we want the viewers to stay with this game.
We do.
Of course, don't we, Liz?
Just providing the updates, Stu.
Tiwi now looking to work forward. Scrappy play on that far wing. They go backwards to get a bit of a hold on things and make some composure. Here's Kieran DeSantis looking to switch play. Goes to Jason Purantatameri, who handballs it over the top to Dion Mankara, the superstar. He goes down the line, finds Kim Cantilla. The big names coming together in this play for Tiwi. Looks for a short, sharp shot forward to Dwayne Kiranil, the debutant. And he's looking for his options forward. Maureen running back to the square. Hooker making some moves, but no one really offering anything strong. So he kicks across again to Cantilla. Looks forward. Now Adam Tipping-Woody takes a mark, probably just within range. He plays on his left, goes towards goal. Don't know if it quite has the distance, and Newman taps it over.
Had the accuracy, but not the distance, and that would have made things interesting if they'd kicked another goal. The score now, Wanderers 11-10-76 to the Tiwi Bombers 4-4-28.
That was disappointing forward work from the forwards there from Tiwi. The young fella, Kiranua there, didn't really have anything going, didn't have anyone offering anything, so he's had to go across to Cantilla, and still when Cantilla was looking forward, there wasn't much, so they could have done a lot better there. But here's O'Connell for Wanderers moving through. They're looking to rebound quickly on the counter-attack. He steps past one, ducks under another, and kicks to his captain in McLean. He'll pick it up about 52 out from goal, pretty clean with it. And gee, that was a good kick to John Tipalura, about 25 out from goal.
Great work there by Braden McLean. I have to apologise. I think I said Rod McPhee instead of Rod McLean earlier. Braden's dad, both very good footballers back in the day, Stu.
Yep, before my time. But, yeah, both terrific fellas as well.
Yep. A lot of father-sons in our current NTFL competition today.
Tipalura kicks it. And it's another one on the board there. First for the quarter for the Wanderers.
Yeah, and took a while to steady, but they used the ball well around that outer side. Bo O'Connell backing himself and bouncing the ball through the centre of the ground, and he got protected pretty well with a couple of good shepherds and then used the ball nicely in the end. So he's continuing on the form that he displayed in the first half as well. So
John Tipalura becomes Wanderers' 7th goal kicker today, and that score now 12-10-82, leading Tiwi Bombers 4-4-28, and Wanderers' first goal for the quarter at the almost the 13-minute mark.
We saw O'Connell and McLean there. I think one of the things Tiwi needs to work on is their discipline when it comes to the opposition's big plays. Too many times they've been caught in paddocks of space, and you can't leave dangerous players alone like that. There's a big hit in the middle there on Cantilla. He's stayed down, went to Daniels, then to Adam Tipping-Woody, and now to DeSantis, who's kicked it inside forward 50. No one could take the mark, and it'll be Wanderers looking to mop up. Erlinson goes back to Nicky. He's tackled. Big, strong tackle, and the umpire will ping him.
He had to. He caught the arms and just didn't get the ball out cleanly. So Paulinus Tipping-Woody with terrific forward pressure there, and he's got a set shot, but he's right on the boundary line in the left forward pocket. This is a pretty tough kick. Looks like he's coming in the drop punt. You don't see that very often these days. He knew exactly what he was doing. Put it straight through the middle.
Wow.
That is a magnificent goal from deep in the left forward pocket. Almost kicked it from outside the boundary line, I think, in the end with the set shot, but he was confident the whole way and went straight through the middle. So Tiwi just continue on with their 4th goal for the quarter.
Well, there's 4 Motlops playing today, but there's also 4 Tipping-Woodies, so I'm not sure how they're all related, but Paulinus was one of their better players last week as well. So another goal on the board for the Tiwi Bombers. The score now, Wanderers 12-10, 82, leading the Tiwi Bombers 5-4-34. But one goal for the Tiwi Bombers in the first half, but they've kicked 4 this quarter already, Will.
Yeah, they have. They've definitely come back into the game. As I said, I'm not sure if they'll quite be able to peg back what's now a 48-point margin, I think. But, we'll see if they can at least show some pride and show some fight. McLean and O'Connell in the contest there. We've called those names plenty of times today. The ball now comes forward to Totham, but Dion Munkara makes a contest of it, comes to ground. Totham passes out. Munkara will take the crumb, evades one tackle. He can't get past the second one. He's pinged for holding the ball. Braden McLean picks it up, kicks it to the lead of Simpson, a bit too much on it. And Tiwi won't let them have it easy. Ball now comes in. Clee passes one, gets it over the top to Simpson. And the big fella kicks his first for the quarter, and that's number 5.
Yeah, 5 goals to Edward Simpson. As we said, 4 in the first half and now 1 in that quarter. He's pretty dangerous there in the forward line, Stu.
Yeah, and good forward pressure by the Wanderers forwards down there. They too looked like they had the opportunity to get their hands on the ball and clear it out, but they just kept persisting, and eventually it came into the hands of Simpson, who kicked a pretty easy goal in the end.
Yeah, Roy Farmer chasing him there. I was chatting to Dean Rioli at halftime, and a couple of their players were unable to get on the ferry to come in this weekend, and Roy's the assistant coach and has pulled on the jumper. So, a fair effort by him there to be chasing Edward Simpson around on a Saturday afternoon.
Still got good skills, Roy Farmer.
Absolutely.
He was a terrific player in his young days. Went down and spent a bit of time at Norwood in the SANFL, but he's probably not in the best of condition anymore. But he's
probably didn't expect to play.
That's right.
So the score now: Wanderers 13-10. 88, leading Tiwi 5-4-34 at the 16-minute mark of the third quarter. You're watching AFL&T's coverage of the 2021-22 TIO NTFL competition.
So a bit of a delay getting the ball back from that goal, but we got there eventually. And umpire Bailey Panuto will get us underway again.
Yeah, umpires today: Joel Morrison, Bailey Panuto, Tyler Engels and Patrick Rawslawn in the green.
Smith Thompson gets the ball out to Clee on the wing. He's got the big man leading, coming out of the forward 50, and he'll find him. Gee, that was a good, strong lead. Simpson just too quick off the mark. He kicks it inside forward to Weitra. Ball came into his chest, but he couldn't mark it. It came off a couple of hands. Tiwi now kick it out of the back line. And the big boy, Mitch Garton, the ruckman, takes the mark, hands it off to Clee. Wasn't clean. Comes back. Wanderers enter their forward line. Went through the hands of the forward. Purun Tatameri had it bounce off his chest. And the umpire has called holding the man. It'll be a free kick to Braden McLean, who will line up for goal about 25 out on a slight angle. And he's kicked 1 goal today. As we said, he's been playing a bit more of a half-forward midfield role this year compared to what he's usually known for on the back flank and in the back line. But he'd definitely enjoy this if he can get his second for the day.
He's looking very fit too, Braden.
Yeah, absolutely. He's had a very fine year so far.
Someone who played his first NTFL senior game as a 15-year-old as well.
McLean walks in.
Just leaned back on that one a bit, didn't he, Will? And unfortunately spewed off to the right.
Didn't quite commit to it, and Tiwi will now look to rebound. And gee, that wasn't a good kick in straight to Simpson. The big fella will line up for his second of the quarter and his 6th of the game.
As you said, he's the leading goal kicker for Wanderers. He had 24 goals going into this game, so he's already got 5. Getting close to the 30-goal mark for the season.
I think Calder was 10 ahead of him on 34 coming into this game, so he's closing that gap. Not sure if he'll quite match him today. He's kicked it. Not a great kick, bit high, and it's a good mark on the line from David Cruz. He goes out to Dion Munkara. Munkara now goes across to Farmer, back to Munkara, back to Farmer. Looking to exit their defensive 50, throws on the boot. Don't know if that was a barrel or just a mongrel of a punt. But it didn't quite get to what he wanted. Wanderers now coming through, and Fuller takes the mark almost in the centre of the ground. Goes back rolls on his left. Oh no, turns onto his right foot. Finds JJ Motlop. No, he doesn't. It's Rodney Tipperui for Tiwi. They're turning it around here. Kim Cantillo takes the mark. Gets up quick, looking to move it quickly. Kick to Maureen wasn't good, and it was intercepted from Fuller. He got a shepherd from Nicky there. O'Connell tries to get to it. Scrappy play here. No one can take it cleanly. Hooker now gets his hands on it. He's mopped up in a tackle pretty quickly.
He's made no effort to get rid of that ball at all. He just soaked up the tackle and was probably a bit lucky to get away with it in the end. But a stoppage right here in front of us in front of the grandstand here. Garton flicks it over the top, but chopped off down there by McLennan, who kicks inside 50, but Newman was lurking as usual and took the intercept mark, found Erlinson, who runs away and chips the ball to Motlop in the centre of the ground. Brodie Motlop looking to play on now, does so. He's trying to give off the handball, but no one really wanted it. Almost bounced off the back of Erlinson. Motlop tied it up again. Smith Thompson down in the forward line has a hook around the corner. Probably had a bit more time than he realised, and he's just missed that one to the right.
Keenan Smith Thompson, the son of Shane Thompson, who played 200 games for Wanderers. Another father-son there. So the score now, Wanderers 13-12-90, leading the Tiwi Bombers 5-4-34 at the 21-minute mark of the third quarter.
And Cruz the target here. Makes a good effort but can't take the mark. Comes back to McLean. He's wrapped up by Cruz. Gee, that was an absolute thumper of a tackle. And what's the umpire calling here? I think it'll be a ball up.
Cruz hurt himself in that tackle. He's getting up pretty slowly. As his cousin Alex Wheatra scoops the ball out to Jared Erlinson there.
Now with Nicky, he hands it, but can't get it out cleanly, and it rolls over the boundary line.
Yeah, Braden McLean having a spell after that tackle, but I think he's okay. Probably just out of puff a bit, and boundary throw in to get us restarted here. So Tiwi still winning the quarter at this stage, but haven't had that open the floodgates as we might have thought. But good work out of defence here, and Dwayne Karanua gets the ball down towards half forward, chopping across there with Johnston, and Newman involved again, gets it by hand back to Johnston. Johnston goes across the ground, but this one's going to be intercepted down there, and it's Travis Tambling who got himself in the right position and took a good mark on at full stretch, as Wanderers had a couple of options out there, but the kick just went in between them. And so Travis Tambling going back for the set shot. He'll be kicking from about 45, and if the flags are correct, he's assisted by the breeze, but not sure if he's got this distance in him as he comes across the 50-metre line now. It's going right to the goal line, and
guess who? Brady Newman.
Right there, the just, I think the goal umpire might say this one's gone through.
I think the goal umpire was waiting for the umpire, so there was
just getting the ball back while they have the conference.
Joel Morrison there, who was named as number 70 in the most powerful people in the NT News this week, Stu, or Will.
Yeah, your name hasn't come out yet, Liz.
Definitely won't be there, that's for sure. But Joel's the CEO of NT Cricket, as we know.
Yeah, he's a very big influence in the various sporting communities up here in the top end. One of the most prolific and influential umpires up here, and obviously, as you said, he's the CEO of Cricket NT and has a very important role
there in the game. So I don't even know who kicked that. Was it?
Yeah, it was Travis Tambling.
Yeah,
but it took an eternity to work that out between 4 umpires down there, but got there in the end. So
it was a long time coming. And Joel Morrison's wife Eliza, captain of Nightcliff, who are undefeated and taking on Buffaloes in a big top of the table clash in our women's competition today. But back to this game, and the score is Wanderers 13-12-90, leading the Tiwi Bombers 6-4-40. So 50 points, 5 goals in the third quarter to the Tiwi Bombers, Will.
Yeah, they've definitely come to the fight this quarter. As we said, only 1 goal in those first 2 quarters. I think it was about the 3rd or 4th goal of the game as well. So Wanderers definitely got a run on. But they're, trying to make a show of something and put up a fight. Adam Tipping-Woody in the middle now, shrugs the tackle, gets her hands off. Cantilla tried to hack it out of midair, but it didn't quite work for him. Follows up with the tackle on his Wanderers counterpart, and he'll get another opportunity to go forward. It's another scrap. Cantilla will pick it up again, throws on the boot, doesn't make too much distance with it, and the umpire calls a free kick for holding the man. Kim Cantilla again, he's had about 4 kicks in the space of 4 seconds for a total of about 4 metres. There's Dion Munkara now with the ball, throws on the boot, goes inside the forward 50. And the Tiwi play flight out the back, but it'll be Caleb Nicky who'll mop it up.
Oh, wow.
Straight down the throat of Chris Maureen, who's one of the big players who's had to step up in the absence of Locke since he went down early in that second quarter. And he'll line up for what will be Tiwi's 6th goal of the quarter if he can kick it.
So that's a couple now where they've just had time and space, but just turned it over inside their defensive 50, and Tiwi have made them pay so far. And Maureen kicks towards goal, but this one's just off the side of the boot a little, unfortunately for Tiwi, and through for a behind. So I let off that time for some sloppy work in defence, and Nicky brings it into the outside. Speaking of sloppy work in defence, that's gone very close to the boundary line, and Newman's just been able to take the mark as the siren goes for 3-quarter time, a quarter which was won by Tiwi pretty comfortably in the end, 6 goals to 2, and it was a much better contest, Liz.
Yeah, they've reduced that margin. It was 66 points at half-time, 49 points at 3-quarter time, Will.
Yeah, 5 goals to Tiwi that quarter against Wanderers 2. Aaron Motlop wouldn't be too happy with that. They had the game well under their control and were looking for a healthy percentage boost. That could still come in this final quarter. We'll have to see what plays, but I think Aaron Motlop will be quite animated at this 3-quarter time scrum. We'll have to see how we go in the final quarter.
So we'll be back after this break for the final quarter here from TIO Stadium in Darwin.
You know what great mates Territorians can be.
Always willing to lend a hand, or something else. So if they ever ask to borrow your car, as you know they will, you can say yes, knowing that your TIO comprehensive car insurance has them covered. Same as you. It's good to know.
So get a quote today.
TIO. We're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club has been renovated. Come check out our brand new cafe, open 7 days a week. And with the new Kids Club, we are the perfect spot for a worry-free catch-up with friends. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gathering or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide.
Great Northern Brewing Co., the beer from up here.
know Territorians are a hardy bunch.
Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory,
We're here when you need us most.
TIO, we're for Territorians.
AFL Northern Territory would like to remind spectators that congregating at the team huddles is not permitted during the breaks.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium in Darwin for the final quarter of this round 11 game between Wanderers and the Tiwi Bombers. Wanderers with a big lead, but they didn't have it all their way in the third quarter, Will.
No, they didn't. It was a 66-point margin at half-time, and Tiwi's come out and kicked 5 of their 6 goals in that quarter. Wanderers added just 2 to their tally. It's now a 49-point margin, so possibly a bit far out of reach from Tiwi. We do know what they can do. They can turn a game on its head in just a quarter, but this year we haven't really seen that form yet. So if they can turn it on here, we could be in for a good game, but otherwise we'll have to see how much they can reduce the margin or what Wanderers will do for their percentage. Play now underway. Scrummed forward for Wanderers, but Cantilla will mop it up and sweep out the back. He looks to give it off through McLennan. Cantilla gets it, now goes out to Tippingwoody. Tippingwoody kicks it forward. And it's a good strong mark there from Brendan Cantilla, who's played forward this year. He looks for Nick Hooker. He takes the mark. No, he doesn't. It's play on. Really should have taken that one there, and he's now found himself on the giving end of a tackle. And we'll have a ball up in Tiwi Bombers forward 50. So looking to get a fast start here, Stu.
Yeah, and you can just see in that third quarter and the start of this quarter how the enthusiasm's really lifted amongst the Tiwi players, and it's good to see. But Newman wrestles the ball out of that pack and gets the clearance out wide. Tipalura running onto this one, drops the ball at his feet, and now he's under plenty of pressure. Cleverly picked up down there by Babui, but just gave the ball away in the end, and now the opportunity for Wanderers to run it out of defence. O'Connell involved again, chips across to McLean. He goes quickly by hand to Fijo. Fijo's got plenty of room. Coming inside forward 50, kicks to a one-on-one down here. Simpson in the box seat over the back, and the kick was good. And Cruz just found himself a couple of metres in front of Simpson, the kick was strong and over the top, and Simpson was in best position, kicked to his advantage, and he's going to kick around the corner from almost in front, whereas he knows what he's doing though, and kicks his sixth goal for the game.
Yeah.
So
just a beautiful kick there from Keelan Fijo. He knew exactly where he wanted to put it to Simpson. So as you said, a goal to Simpson. Now the score 14-12-96. The Tiwi Bombers 6-5-41.
Good offensive running there from Wanderers. They had plenty of players on, didn't need to use them all. And as I said, Keelan Fijo's just kicked it almost pinpoint pass to Simpson there, just far enough over the top of David Cruz's hands, but not too far that Simpson couldn't take a relatively simple mark. He's gone down and done the job, and as you said, goal number 6. That extends the lead out to 55 points, 14-12-96 to 6-5-41. Scoreboard
hasn't quite caught up yet.
It's lost with the Gremlins at the moment. Scarton, who starts, he gets the ball forward for Wanderers again. We'll have a ball up just forward of centre. No, it'll be a free kick to Tiwi. And Adam Tippingwoody takes wastes no time, plays on, goes to Kim Cantilla in the middle of the ground. He plays on as well. Not a great kick in Newman again. He'll mop it up from ground level. Throws on his left, almost held there. Finds Motlop. But the ball is kicked towards the boundary line and we'll have a throw-in on that far wing. Just in front of the PSC Insurance Brokers sign.
Good plug of the sponsors there, Will.
Just doing what I can. And Garton in the middle. No, it's Dougie Daniels who gets the tap out. This time to Fijo. Fijo to McLean. Handball's inside. O'Connell takes one step one way, then hands out the other.
Ooh.
Fijo tackled. Big, strong tackle from JJ Motlop. Now to O'Connell. Now to Tipalura. He runs in, kicks towards goal, and that's his second of the day.
Yeah, good finish, G. They've kept a really open forward line, brought their players up the field, and obviously with Simpson in the form that he's in, you'd want to give him plenty of space one-on-one if you can, and that's what they've done, and it's paid off early in this last quarter with both their goals as a result of the space that they've been able to use inside forward 50.
Yep, so another goal to Wanderers. Bo O'Connell in the mix of it all again. Wanderers 14-12-96, Tiwi Bombers 6-5-41, and probably O'Connell and Brady Newman best on ground for me so far today, Stu.
Yeah, no arguments there, and they've had plenty of good players, but O'Connell's just getting touches at will as he's going to get involved again here as the tap comes out the back. Hand passes, loops one over looking for Erlinson. O'Connell again clever on the half volley and now gets a hand pass out wide. Ball just keeps bouncing back to him, doesn't it? Adam Topping-Woody's involved now and just a bit scrappy out there, but it comes into the hands of O'Connell, believe it or not, who chips across to Erlinson. Oh, that's a bit crude over the top, and Erlinson will take the mark or free kick, whichever you like. And
I love reading the stats in the NT News during the week, Will, and seeing what the actual results were. You know, players up there like your Nate Paredes for St Mary's, who's up in the 29s every week. And
I was just wondering how close O'Connell may be getting to the most disposals for a game so far this year. He's definitely got plenty. In a couple of plays, he's almost
another goal to Tipalura there in the meantime.
His second as well, so both the Tipaluras now with 2 goals.
Yeah.
But back to Bo O'Connell. He's had it on a string in a couple of plays. He's had sort of 3 or 4 1-2s back to him, which is good for
racking them up.
Caliber. Absolutely.
Was it Dylan Lant? Did he hit 40 last season in a game?
I think he might have.
Yeah, with 1 handball, I reckon.
39 kicks and 1 handball.
Yep.
And, of course, he was back in action for St Mary's last week. The score now, Wanderers 15-12, 102 to the Tiwi Bombers 6-5-41. But, come the end of the season, it all comes into contention when we're looking at Nichols medals votes, of course.
And obviously O'Connell is one who does catch the umpire's eye. As Liz mentioned, he was a winner a couple of seasons ago. So from the centre of the ground, Clee gets a hand pass across to Smith-Thompson. Smith-Thompson straight down the middle of the ground, and Fijo involved again by hand to McLean. McLean off to Nicky. Nicky has a bounce when he probably shouldn't, and put Fijo under a bit of pressure, but Fijo's recovered pretty well and now has an opportunity to kick high towards the top of the goal square, swinging round on the left foot. Normie Tipalura there, just
great mark.
Easy as you like, takes the mark under a bit of pressure, but just got himself in the right position, and he's had some lively moments forward for Wanderers today, and he'll go back and kick for goal from about 15 metres out on a slight angle.
Yeah, he's already kicked 2 today, so he's pretty close. He should kick from only about 20 metres out. So I'm going to mark it down. Hopefully, commentator's curse doesn't happen for his sake. And guess what?
Goal umpire made a bit of ground, but I think
it's a
through.
goal.
Yeah, so after Tiwi won that third quarter pretty comfortably, it's Wanderers who obviously got a bit of a rev at 3/4 time, have come out strongly in this final quarter and have kicked 4 goals in 7 minutes to start the quarter. So hopefully for the game's sake, Tiwi can muster some of that enthusiasm again, get their hands on the ball and make it a contest again in for the rest of the quarter.
Yep, the score now, Wanderers 17-12, 114 leading the Tiwi Bombers 6-5-41 at just coming up to the 8-minute mark of the fourth quarter here at TIO Stadium in Darwin. You're watching AFL&T's coverage of the 2021-22 TIO NTFL season.
And Clee will get the free kick after slipped over and was taken high from the Tiwi player who looked to move forward. He's been pretty impressive today without lighting it on fire. McLean now, I think we might add him to the list of best players today. He's caught my eye and been very good as per usual. Wanderers look to enter their forward 50. And it's Weitra off to Fijo. He kicks towards goal and he's pretty happy with that one. Gives us a little double fist pump on his way through.
So was Simpson in the goal square, putting both hands up.
And that takes it to a 79-point margin. So it has gotten away from the Bombers this last quarter. Had a pretty good third quarter. Started off this quarter well. But unfortunately, it's pretty much been Wanderers ever since then.
So 3 goals now to Keelan Fijo, 3 to Normie Tipalura, but 6 to Edward Simpson so far in this high-scoring game.
And Bo O'Connell as well chipped in with, I think, the first 2 goals of the game and has had plenty of it in the midfield as well.
So just waiting for the restart. We're underway now. Big fella Daniels gets his hand to the ball for Tiwi, but it's Wanderers who get their hands on it first. Johnston coming off halfback, receives the handball, kicks forward. Some clever work down here by Tipalura, but then just fumbled at the crucial moment. And he's been fortunate here. He got tackled as the ball slipped away from his hands and won the free kick, hands it off to Bo O'Connell. Kicks on the left, this time high into the forward 50. Simpson got his hands to the ball, but crumbing on the ground was Fijo again, I think it is, and he's dribbled one along the ground through the goal square, which was unmanned, and kicked 2 in a row and 4 for the game.
Yeah, 4 for Keelan Fijo. So the score now, Wanderers 19-12, 126 to the Tiwi Bombers 6-5-41. I was talking to Keelan's father-in-law, Brucey Hoffman, out in Cantillas at halftime, who's sitting there with Mark Motlop enjoying the game. Mark, obviously a legend in territory footy up here, but also the father of Aaron Motlop, who is the Wanderers coach this season.
So the floodgates are opening here. 6 goals straight to Wanderers in this quarter, and no reply from Tiwi, and we're only just over 10 minutes into the quarter, so could be some more to come as Wanderers look to go forward again from the restart. Smith Thompson's in there, but this time it's picked up and hand passed backwards by McLennan. Roy Farmer, a bit of fancy footwork, and manages to chip it out wide here to Dwayne Kiranua, who has a bounce, backs himself. Good on you, young fella, and now kicks forward and tapped forward there by Tip and Woody. Tiwi have got some numbers, but Fuller just got bumped off the ball that time for Wanderers and carries it over the boundary line, and we'll have a boundary throw in just inside forward 50 for Tiwi on the outer side of the ground.
So the 11-minute mark of this final quarter, and Wanderers well and truly got the game in hand here, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. As we said, it's 6 straight goals from so far this quarter. Tiwi yet to make a dent in that margin, and it's crept out to, I think, 85 points, which not many teams come back from 85 points, if any. Wanderers now, again, moving forward, looking to increase that margin. They've got a few numbers on here. Gee, it's 4 players running forward. You'd think they'd get something out of this for sure.
Smith Thompson's going to have that shot on goal, but it's going to be marked by Simpson, and he plays on and puts it through for his 7th goal of the day. Edward Simpson having a day out.
Was he passing that, Liz?
I don't think so. But well read by Simpson. He couldn't get in the position to shepherd it through, so he marked it and kicked his 7th. Lucky 7.
Another one I'd add to the best players. Might miss out on votes today. He's had a couple of impressive teammates, but his physical size and presence is just, so impressive and so important for this Wanderers side. If he doesn't take the mark, he crashes packs and knocks down about 3 opposition players. I think we saw that with Keelan Fijo's last 2 goals. He's taken the crumbs off the pack and run through a relatively easy pack of players lying on the ground, and as I said, kicked 2 goals. So Eddie Simpson crucial to this Wanderers team. It's
a fit-looking Wanderers unit this season, Stu.
Yeah, certainly are, and Just talking about Simpson, you can see that he gets as much pleasure from his teammates kicking goals as he does himself, and so obviously a great club man and, as Will said, a really important part of the team. So there's an after disposal free kick down here, and Simpson's going to be on the end of it. He's a fair way out. He's chipping off and finds Clee, but it's going to have to come back, I think, because the umpire was still setting the mark. So comes back to Simpson, and he will have to kick from outside 50, and he's looking to pass off. And Bo O'Connell's run and made some space, and the pass is good. And O'Connell marks about 35 out directly in front.
Well, as you said, Willie had 2 early goals. He's been damaging in the centre. Can he finish his game today with a 3rd goal?
Let's see what he can do. Might have a couple of votes to go with him. Obviously, we won't find that out until mid to late March, but I dare say he's impressed today, that's for sure. He now starts his run up. He'll be kicking from almost straight in front, about 45 out by the time he kicks it. Doesn't really like it, and it's gone to the right, so it's a behind. Extends the lead out to somehow it's crept out to 92 points. So at half time we were wondering how much Tiwi could reduce it by. I think it was about a 50 or 49 point margin.
Yeah, 49 at 3/4 time.
Now, as I said, out to 92 points, so could get to triple figures, which would be a horror final quarter for Tiwi. Wanderers now with another opportunity, hands it over the top. Here's Tipalura.
Oh, another
poster.
poster.
Woodwork. That would have been... Tipalura would have kicked 4 of the last 5 goals, I think, if he got it through. But it wasn't to be, as Cruz plays on from full-back, takes 2 bounces, and throws on his unpreferred left, and it definitely looked unpreferred. Tipping Woody now chips it over the top to Paulinus. Tipping Woody. He hands it back to him. And now that's Austin Tipping Woody. He kicks forward. Newman will pick it up off the ground. No, he'll hack it. And Smith Thompson stops it with his foot. Kicks it, comes across to Marcus Totham. He takes the mark, looks to play on. And he's got Tipalura, who marks 48 out from goal. Plays on, goes to the short lead of Simpson. He takes the mark. And the big fella could go back for number 8.
Just look at the size difference down there, and that's obviously what's helped him today. There's just David Cruz is the tallest option that Tiwi have got to match up with him, but yeah, he's just too big and strong for him today, and he's made the most of it. And yeah, he's a huge target for them every week, but particularly today. And kicks beautifully as well from the set shot. So yeah, an impressive game, and gee, it's become a blowout again, hasn't it? With 8 goals to none in this final quarter, which is a really disappointing finish for Tiwi after what they showed us in the 3rd quarter. And although I guess what they did do in the 3rd quarter gives them a bit of hope for weeks going forward, but you've got to play more than 1 quarter, of course.
Yeah, so 8 goals so far to Eddie Simpson. As we said, he came into the game on 24, so that takes him up to 32 goals for the season. Wanderers now 21-14, 140, leading the Tiwi Bombers 6-5-41. So a 99-point ball game at the 16.5-minute mark of the final quarter here at TIO Stadium in Darwin.
Big Mitchie Garton got the hit out there. But Tiwi might come off at best. Cantilla slips as he takes possession and then loses possession as Motlop gets his hands on it. The other Motlop comes through trying to push it forward, but the ball has come to a bottom of the pack and the umpire will call for my ball.
Just call Motlop, Will, because that's who handed it back to the umpire.
I remember calling a game one year, there was 6 Motlops playing, so it's not a record today by any stretch. I think 6 played in that premiership a few years ago too, Stu.
Yeah.
There's a photo of them all. A great footballing dynasty in Darwin. There's many big families up here.
Maureen kicks it across, and I think this might be Valerian Munkanomi. He kicks it inside the forward 50 straight to Brody Newman, who's been brilliant today, as per usual. He finds Clee, hands it off And Wanderers looking to leave the defensive 50, finds Normie Tipalura, who's really come alive this final quarter. He goes to Brody Newman, who's been stellar all day. Now finds John Tipalura. Bo O'Connell will run onto it. Hands it over the top. Marcus Toddem will take it. Runs inside 50. Was under hot pursuit. Kicks it across to Motlop. But he couldn't find it.
Oh, wow, what a mark.
Good mark from Roy Farmer there. He plays on. Jason Purun-Tatameri now getting his legs a workout. Running out of the defensive 50. Kicks it to the wing. I think it's Kim Cantil on that far side there. Comes inboard. Wasn't a great kick, but it'll work out for them. And Tiwi now running forward, trying to make something of this last quarter. He's dropped the ball, but picks it up again. Kicks it across in there to Rodney Tipperui. Hands it over to Dion Munkara, who's been quiet today, not his usual self. Steps around the man, goes onto his favoured left side, and it's a helicopter through for a behind.
It was a bit better build-up by Tiwi that time down the outer side. Had some players in some space, but when they were looking to go inside 50, they went laterally across the ground, and so Wanderers were able to put some pressure on them across half forward. But O'Connell again is involved, chips it to McLean, and you're right, Will, McLean's been very strong today as well, all over the ground. And now Tipalura switches to the outer side of the ground where Newman's got some space. There's a couple of players cramping in the middle of the ground as the ball comes back inboard to Smith-Thompson. He chips over the top to Erlinson. Erlinson has
the
Brenton
150 gamer.
Brenton Motlop on the lead in the forward line. You don't hear that called very often, and he's obviously a strong, solid defender over a long period of time. And to look at him, he doesn't look like doesn't have the typical build of a Motlop, but he's been a very effective player for Wanderers for a long time, and would be great reward if he could kick a goal in this milestone game for them. But there's a bit of work to do from out wide out and a fair way out. His kick's on the way. It's going right to the goal.
Oh,
it
he
looks
likes
good.
it.
It sits and likes
Watch the ball get around him.
Look at every Wanderers player get around him. It's fantastic to see. And yeah, a great finish from out there from the left footer, and good to see that he gets that goal in his milestone game. And surely Aaron will say to him, "You can go back to the back line now."
I think he's going to go stay in the forward line. He might go to full forward after that. Great work there by Brenton Motlop. So the score now, Wanderers 22-14, 146, leading the Tiwi Bombers 6-6-42 after that goal to the milestone man, Brenton Motlop, and his brother JJ was the first one to run in and congratulate him, as we see another injury for the Tiwi Bombers there in the middle of the field, getting assisted off by the two trainers. Not sure who it is. I think it's Paulinus, Tip and Woody from this distance. Might have done an ankle.
And as we've just seen Motlop kick a goal, plenty of reason for Wanderers to celebrate. We've also got the two debutantes, one on either side today. How have you found their performances today, Stu?
Been pretty good, pretty encouraging. I think they've certainly haven't held back. They've injected themselves into the game, and promising signs for both of them. This is an interesting development, because actually at this point of time too, we've got too many players on the field.
Yeah, they do.
So I don't know. Obviously they were keen to get into their zones for the restart, but technically they probably shouldn't have been allowed to.
No, Joel Morrison is watching there on the sideline. So the 21.5 minute mark of this final quarter, put a few extra R's on the end there, as we see that mark come out to Rodney Tipperui, the Tiwi Bombers.
Hands off to Kim Cantilla, who's probably been almost Tiwi's best player today, but Brody Newman just elevator arms stretched up and snatched that one out of the air, and found Bo O'Connell unusually, and he chips the ball along the grandstand wing, and Wheater marks in front of Jason Purun-Tatameri. He chips inboard to Matthew Motlop, hands it off to Stanley Tipalura. He kicks wide, and Brenton Motlop on the lead out there. Just couldn't quite reach it in the end and tapped it over the boundary line. And it'll be a boundary throw in. Roy Farmer wanted a free kick for deliberate, not paid. And
bit ambitious. Brody Motlop was lurking there too. It'd be good if he could get a goal in his debut game.
So the boundary throw in Simpson doing the ruck work for Wanderers. He's climbed over and free kick's been paid. They're looking to take the advantage, but not allowed to, and Matthew Motlop will have to give the ball back to Simpson outside 50 this time, and I imagine he'll be looking to pass off. He plays on instead, kicks long towards goal, just dragged this one through for a behind again. So 9 goals for the quarter for Wanderers, Tiwi none so far, and it's been all one-way traffic as Jason Purantatameri runs out of the defensive goal square, has a couple of bounces and chips forward on the left, and a good diving mark taken by Douglas Daniels at half-back for Tiwi. He's looking inboard, but it's all Wanderers players there, and so now he's put himself under pressure as he was called to play on, and his kick was an untidy one and bounced out of bounds for a boundary throw, and then he'll have to go and do the ruck work instead.
It was a true shin of that one, it was.
The dying minutes of the game, they all look a bit exhausted. It is hot out there, as we said.
And it has crept over 100 points now, 104-point margin, obviously in favour of the Wanderers. Not the result Tia would have been looking for, particularly at three-quarter time when they...
Simpson.
Here he goes.
Oh, wow. Such good hands and a big body, too hard to man up on. He plays on, kicks his 9th goal of the day. Edward Simpson having a day out in the forward line.
And he by himself has outscored the Wanderers. He's outscored the Bombers. Sorry, he's kicked 9 goals and a couple of behinds. Well and truly beaten Tiwi, who sit on 6 goals, 642.
That kick came in from Jared Erlinson, who we probably haven't said too much about today, but he's had plenty of the football, and he's another one who's had a good season. He's been with Wanderers for a long time now, and came through the junior ranks with them, and was a captain at one time, and has had a good season. Has had plenty of it again today, and just had a bit of a general role, I reckon, in the midfield with Wanderers, and just directing traffic, and uses the ball well when he gets it. So
he's a quiet sort of fella, Jared. He likes to fly under the radar, but lets his footy do the talking for him. He spent some time on the NT Thunder list as well, and very highly respected in the NTFL. The score now, Wanderers 23-14, 152, leading the Tiwi Bombers 6-6-42.
Wanderers going forward again, Tottenham, and again it's Brenton Motlop out in some space.
Brody Motlop's looking for it there. He's going to kick it to the debutant. He marks it over on the St Mary's wing over there. Well, wouldn't it be exciting if Brody could get a goal in his debut game?
Would be. It's a pretty tough angle though, and he's deep in that left forward pocket. And he's a left footer, of course, and I think that's not his best effort.
Yeah, as you said, a pretty tough angle. Brody, the son of Shannon Motlop, former AFL player and Wanderers coach, and his wife Shannon, who we like to call Shannon Boy and Shannon Girl, both with the same first name.
Tiwi now exit their defensive 50.
Great running by Smith Thompson.
And he plays on. Couldn't quite get a mark to Motlop. But Motlop will get it back again. Throws it on his boot. Couldn't quite find McLean. Purantatameri takes possession. Oh, don't know what's happened there. He's dropped it and missed it with his foot. Hands it back now. Braden McLean tackled. And he's given a high. So he'll have an opportunity to score a goal. I think he's kicked a couple today.
One.
Just the one.
He's going to play on and get it to Brody Motlop. Out in front of goal. He should kick it from about 20 metres out, Stu.
Take 2.
Yeah, and just in the lead up, Daniel Clee was telling him to get around and get off of McLean to get the hand pass and have a shot at goal, but instead he went back into some space and they were looking for him the whole time. So comes in now, shot on goal. The kick's a lot better this time, and this one's straight through the middle. And all his teammates get around him, and that's terrific. And terrific for the Motlops that he debuts today in Brenton Motlop's 150th game, and they both get on the scoreboard. And Wanderers have just rolled on in this last quarter, and that's their 10th for the quarter in the end. So Aaron Motlop be a lot happier at the end of the game than he was at three-quarter time, I would think.
Yeah, a goal on debut to Brody Motlop. The score now, Wanderers 24-14, 158 to the Tiwi Bombers, 6-6-42. Brody, the son of Shannon Motlop, who, as we said, played 64 AFL games for North Melbourne and Melbourne, the grandson of Eddie Motlop and another one of the Motlop dynasty.
And they've piled on the goals this final quarter. 11 goals out of their 24, so almost half their score has been kicked. And it doesn't look to stop there. They're moving forward. O'Connell hands it out to Nicky. Nicky goes in.
Matthew Motlop.
It's a Motlop affair here.
I think JJ is the only one who hasn't kicked a goal today out of the Motlop family. So well done to Matty Motlop. He is the brother of Aaron, the coach, and the son of Mark Motlop, one of the NTFL's great players of years gone by.
So 13 goals at 3-quarter time the Wanderers were sitting on. 12 in this last quarter.
A fair effort.
Yeah, they too would be wanting the siren to go, I would think, 28 minutes in. And although Wanderers would be happy for it to tick on a bit longer and try to build on that lead. It's been all one-way traffic, as we've said, in this last quarter.
9 goals to Edward Simpson today, 4 to Keelan Fijo, 3 to Normie Tipalura, the main scorers for Wanderers, as we see another whistle and a 50-metre penalty. Bo O'Connell will take a kick and probably have a shot on goal.
Letting him know about it as well, giving him a clap and a thank you on the way through, and he'll probably be about 30 metres out, relatively easy angle when he goes back and has a shot for this one. He hands it off.
Wow.
To Eddie Simpson. He's got plenty today already. And that's number 10.
That is number 10.
So he's equal with Calder at the moment, I believe, on the Dennis Dunn Trophy leaderboard.
Unselfish there by Bo O'Connell to give that to his teammate.
Yeah, 5 in the last quarter for Simpson. So, yeah, that was an interesting free kick and 50-metre penalty. I thought Munkara actually had the free kick before he got a bit overzealous in his celebration and shoved O'Connell pretty vigorously, but umpire Joel Morrison was having none of it and stamped his authority there and switched it around and advanced it down the field.
You don't see bags of 10 goals these days very often, but Simpson's done it today, and I think Jackson Calder did it earlier in the season.
Both against Tiwi, weren't they?
I think they were, and I think Nigel Lockie kicked 8 against them in round 3 as well. So some big opposition individual goal scorers against Tiwi. That's another area of improvement they've got to work on. Final siren goes, and it's 26-14, 170 to 6 goals, 6-42. It's a big win for the Wanderers. I'm trying to do the maths quickly in my head. It's 20 goals and 8 points, so 128 points. A big percentage booster for Wanderers.
Yeah, and best players today, probably Bo O'Connell right up there, Stu.
Yeah, I think so. And as we said, Jared Erlinson had a fair bit of the ball as well, and also obviously liked the game of the captain Braden McLean, but plenty of Wanderers players had their hands on the ball, and was good to see some young blokes getting a chance. And of course big Eddie Simpson with 10 goals up forward was good. I liked the game of Kim Cantilla today. I thought he brought a bit of energy to Tiwi. He's probably been down a little bit over the last couple of weeks, and he was good again today. David Cruz battled hard in defence, and yeah, they weren't helped by the fact that the big fella Jackson Locke went down early, but just really ran out of steam in the last quarter after what was a promising third quarter.
It was absolutely some promising signs in the third quarter. To the Tiwi Bombers, congratulations to the debutants Dwayne Kerenua for the Tiwi Bombers and Brody Motlop, who kicked the goal, but congratulations to Brenton Motlop, who will probably be chaired off now by his Wanderers teammates after playing his 150th game today. Thank you to Stu and Will for joining me in the commentary box today. A big win to the Wanderers, 26-14, 170 to the Tiwi Bombers, 6-6. 42. We'll catch you next week.